Hello, my name is Carl Greathouse, and this is my presentation on Tony Menendez and his case against Halliburton, and how he followed the Institute of Managerial Accountants standards for ethical practice. So, Tony Menendez was a managerial accountant at Halliburton, a large public company. And when he was doing his work, he discovered that there were some costs that had, or some revenues that had been incorrectly recognized. They were being recognized long before they were actually fulfilling their obligation, which was not in accordance with GAAP. So he took the matter to his boss, as he should have done, and his boss came to him, said he initially agreed with him, and then as they took it further up, they discovered it was going to be a very expensive error to correct because they had to restate all the prior year financial statements, which was going to cost a lot of money and take a lot of time, and so management dragged their feet and eventually just decided it wasn't necessary, even though it was clearly necessary from a legal standpoint. And Tony wasn't happy with this decision and continued to fight. He reported the matter to the internal auditors, who kept getting brushed over. He reported the matter to his boss multiple times, kept bugging him, and they just wouldn't do anything. So eventually Tony went to the SEC and filed a complaint under SOX. When he went to the SEC and told them what was going on, they opened a case, and his boss emailed the whole company, or all the accountants in the company, basically saying what Tony had done. And this was a violation, and he was retaliated against. But eventually, Tony was able to recover from this. He won a court case against them in 2015 that had been going on for years and years, though he did lose his job, and it was a long, tough road for him. But, so the standards for resolving ethical concerns from IMA. So there's three main standards I want to go over. First is to actively seek a resolution. Tony did this. He didn't just sit back and say, hey, this is something that needs changed. And the other thing a lot of people think is that if they just quit their jobs when they're asked to do something unethical or to report something unethically, that they've done their duty, when really their duty is to actually help their companies to be ethical and to report things correctly. The second is to consider risks and possibility of retaliation, which Tony very clearly understood from the beginning. He talked with his wife and gained her support as he went through this, and continued to stay strong as he faced the challenges of trying to get the revenue properly recognized. The second was the third is to follow established organizational policies. He did this. He anonymously reported it. He reported it openly to his boss, and did everything he could within the organization's policies to have it resolved, even though the organization was not effective in doing so. As Tony brought the matter to his boss, and even after he left the company. So what the IMA says is that if you bring the matter to your boss and continue to bring it higher and higher, and the company's refusing to fix it, then you consider disassociating yourself from the organization. Tony took it even further, though. Even after he was disassociated, he kept an ongoing legal case going, and even though he only wanted $1,000 for his wrongful termination, basically, he was able to continue, even putting a lot more work into the case than he knew the money was worth, because he felt that strongly that it was something that the public needed to be aware of and that whistleblowers needed to be supported on. He considered the risks very thoroughly. He demonstrated enormous moral courage as he clearly understood the potential risks, persisted in the face of the pushback from management, and he did it for the purpose of helping others, and especially shareholders, to be able to know what was going on in the company and have accurate financial statements they could make good decisions off of that were in accordance with GAAP. And finally, if that doesn't work, you do what Tony did, and you use the legal system, you use the SEC to try to get those things corrected. Thanks.